guys, so today I'm going to show you how to create an AI that follows a player. So what we're going to need for this is an AI, and we're going to need the behavior tree. So I'm going to walk you through some steps in behavior tree as well, so we get to kind of know a bit about that, and you can familiarize yourself with that as well, because that'll be an important part. That's going to be the part that tells the character, the AI, to follow the player. So what we need to do first is we need to go to here, right click, and duplicate. So we're duplicating our third person character, just name it enemy. Now what we can do here is just drag it straight in, and we get these details panel on the right hand side pop up. So we need to change something. We want to create an AI controller. We don't want it being controlled by us at all. So what we need to do, before that, double click on the enemy. We want to delete all this because we don't need this. And compile. So now what we can do is we can right click, blueprint class, and down at all classes. It might be like that for you. So just get the drop down menu, type in AI controller, select, and let's just name it AI control. Cool. So now we've got this. We can go to the right hand side and make sure enemy self is selected and type in pawn. So you'll see this pops up, and this is what we need here, and we want our AI control there. Cool. Now we've got this set up, we can set up the behavior tree. So right click, artificial intelligence, and we've got blackboard and behavior tree. These are the two things we'll be using today. So behavior tree is telling the AI what to do, and blackboard is the data behind that. So let's just click on behavior tree and I can walk you through that. So let's just name it enemy, and then I'm going to put BT for behavior tree. So we start with the root, and this is what it starts with, and we can either go to a select or sequence. I mean, you can choose other stuff as well, but what I'm going to be showing you today is select and sequence. So the select will, if we choose a selector, it will choose either one or the other. If we can put other tasks down here, it will choose one or the other. Say if we don't want to use that, we want to use a sequence. What a sequence will do is it will choose a task below it sequentially. So it will choose a task below it and go along the line of tasks. Okay, so it doesn't really matter what we're going to be using today, because we're just going to put a move to, so there's only one option for it to do. So this move to is telling it to move to a location, but we need to tell the AI what location it's going to. So what we can do is go back, and then we can create a blackboard, and this is the data. So enemy, and then just put BB. So what we can do now is click into this. This has got self-active. Let's just delete this for a minute. So what we want to do is we want to give it the location of our character. And the way we do this is we add a new key, and we add an object, because it's an object. Name it, we can name it player. Cool. Now we have this, we've got enter name, player. So this is important for later, because we'll be calling this later on. Okay, so later on when we'll be working out the blueprints in the AI control that we created, we'll be calling this name later on, and this will tell it where to go. Cool. So base character, we need to change this to third person character, or whatever character you're using. So we've got third person character here. There you go. So now we've done this, we can save it. So now we've got this set up. What we need to go is go to enemy BT. So we've got the behavior tree. We just need to choose the blackboard we just made, and this comes available, so we can easily switch between now these two pages. So we save that, and we've got, if you click on to move to, we've got this stuff just ready to go basically. So we've got player, and it's already done it. Now we've linked the blackboard to behavior tree. It's already selected the blackboard key. So there's a couple simple steps now that we need to do, and then we're pretty much done. So go back to the main screen here, and now what we need to do is click into AI control, and then we need to click onto event graph, Cool. So now off of the event begin play, we need to tell it to get the blackboard because we want to instantly do this. Okay, or you can choose your own way. You don't have to do it exactly on the event begin play, but that's what we'll be doing today. So use blackboard. And it gives us the option to choose the blackboard here, and that's the only option that we've got at the minute. But obviously, if you're naming these accordingly, then just choose whatever name you want to, whatever blackboard you've created if you've got multiple enemies. Cool, and now what we need to do is set value as object. And there you go, it's there. And then what we can do is get player character. Cool, so now we've got this. We've got the key name. Let's just make this a variable for the moment. Let's just name this player. This variable name here, you can name whatever you like, but it's just this name. What needs to be exactly the same as the key. Otherwise, it won't work. So in previous versions, I think it worked, but in this one, in this Unreal Engine 4.26, I don't think it works. So you have to make sure this one you can name whatever you like. This is the one that you have to change. So we've changed it to the entry name here. We've input it in here. I've just put player there, but you can put player. Just put it V, so it's separate. There you go. Cool. Okay, and now what we need to do now is get the behavior tree, because it needs to run behavior tree. Now we just need to select the behavior tree that we've got there. So we need a target at the minute. What's this? So all you need to do is plug that into there. Cool. And that should be all what we need to do in this bit here. So let's return to the main screen. There's one more thing we have to do before we play it, and that's to create a nav mesh bounds volume. And we need to drag that in. And the reason it's turning up green, because yours might not turn up green, is because you have to hit P. If you hit P, it activates it, and you can see where they can run to. So if we scale this to the whole entire level now, you can kind of see where the green goes to. Wherever the green goes to, the character, the AI that we've created can reach, okay? Well, not everywhere. Sometimes it doesn't know how to jump off there onto there. So if we just lower this down a bit, you can see all this green area it can get to. Sometimes it clips off, but you can still make it up there. Also, if we play, the AI starts to follow. So if you remember those steps, the first thing we did is create an AI from the third person character. We duplicated it. We went into here, deleted all the unnecessary stuff that we didn't need. Then we came back out of here, created an AI control from the blueprint. So we went blueprint class, and then we went down to the all classes and searched for AI controller. And you can choose whatever name you want for it. And then remember, we selected this. It had the details panel on the right hand side. We typed in pawn, chose AI control. Then we created the enemy behavior tree and the enemy blackboard. So it doesn't matter what order you do these in, as long as they link to one of each other in the end. And then you've got the blackboard here. We created the key, the entry name, okay? And it's important that this entry name here is the exact same to the AI controller, and it's exact same to this default value here. Okay, it doesn't matter what variable name here, it's up to you. But this one here, that's very important, otherwise it won't work. Cool. And that's how you can create an AI to follow the player.